Yo, beautiful human. You clicked on our conversation with Quinn XCII, good human being. He has a brand new album out now. It's called A Letter to My Younger Self. If you haven't listened, click the link in the description below. Yeah, I have new things behind me. I moved. I'll unveil what's behind the curtain very soon.
Ooh.
Okay, let's stop speaking. Let's talk to Quinn.
Let's do this. Zach Show.
What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? How are you guys? Thanks for taking the time to do this. I would much rather be in the studio with you all, but this is still nice.
No, I mean, here's the deal. If this is going to be the way we have to do things for a minute, I will accept it. I was very reluctant. I hated it. And
Yeah.
I just moved in the middle of a pandemic. So, like, I'm not officially settled in the new faux studio yet.
Where'd you move to?
I moved from West Hollywood, more towards your hood. I'm in Westwood. I mean, like, I'm not, like, at the beach. You're, like, at the beach, right?
I'm in Venice.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, I
Nice.
can't do that. I'm not that. I'm afraid of sand, dude. It's true. Sand and I have a very bad relationship. A kid one time when I was growing up, Quinn, I'll tell you the story. Nobody cares. But a kid force-fed me sand. Wet sand, to be exact. And that sparked my fear.
Like he forced you to eat sand?
Like he threw sand at my face repeatedly, getting into my mouth. And that is what I ate. And that it literally put a bad taste in my mouth for the whole beach thing.
So you don't go to the beach anymore?
Dude, I've lived in LA now for 5.5 years and I haven't made it off the boardwalk area, and I've only been there twice.
No.
What?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's traumatic, dude. Well, maybe we can all go to the beach together. I can like help you with your first steps on.
Dude, I think I might have to break out the wetsuit. You know?
Yeah.
I'm an anti bathing suit person.
Mhm.
So if even growing up, I'd be that guy who like didn't surf, didn't boogie board, but I'd wear one of those wet shirts, you know,
Yeah.
attached itself to my giant curvaceous body. And like, you know, it really did more harm than good, truthfully. Enough about me. A letter to my younger self. Don't wear the fucking wet shirt.
Yeah. That's a nice segue. I don't know if you planned that or not, but that was nice. I like
No, I don't know why I needed to talk about my past right now. It's been a stressful week, dude. But your album was a really bright light for me today. And yesterday. I've listened to it a couple times, so thank you. It's a great body of work, and I think it's based on reality.
Yeah, I mean it is, but thank you for saying that, by the way. But yeah, it's based on reality. It's based on like my 4 years in high school. That was like the goal of the album, was to make a project that represented my high school experience, because for me, and I think for so many others, like high school is such a like what's the word, like a formidable like experience. Like it really shapes who you are. So you think, and so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like I wanted to make an album that gave my younger self advice, but also I wanted to talk to my younger self as like a 28-year-old guy now who's like married and stuff, and kind of say to him like, don't get too kind of like, don't be too hard on yourself during this time. Like it's not that serious. Like I think back then we all think the person we're dating is the one we're going to marry, or the friends we have are the ones we're always going to have. And if we don't fit into like, or if we get like a D on a math test, we're going to not have a job when we get, you know, like we kind of really stress out on things. And I kind of wanted to make this album to sort of, you know, let my younger fans know, but also my younger self know that like, you know, it's just a small chapter in the greater story of your life. And so to just not take it too seriously, you know, and I'm a big sucker for like high school movies and stuff. So like American Pie and everything that like really inspired me to make this album. So yeah, it was a cool nostalgic sort of trip down memory lane to make all this. And I think it's something that people can relate to. And I think it's something that is kind of weirdly parallels to this time we're in right now. The songs weren't written about quarantine or racial injustice, but a lot of those songs still do kind of like hold truth to what we're currently dealing with right now. So yeah, it's an interesting album that oddly fits into the time that we're living in right now. So I hope people enjoy it.
I felt very understood by the album, and honestly, from top to bottom, it sounds like it kind of goes in order, right? Like by the time you get to Everything I Needed, it is like a realization, you know?
Yeah, that song's about graduation. So like, I'm glad you said that, because that was the goal, was to start the album kind of as like freshman to senior year. And so that last song is about like graduating and not really knowing what the future holds, but understanding that everything that I need is right in front of me and don't have to get too stressed out. But
Yeah, it's, by the way, anthemic and really cool and different. I like the fake trumpet in there, you know?
Dude, that's my mouth. That's my famous mouth trumpet.
Well, wow, what a skill, and clearly one that's been just screaming to be paid off, you know? Like, and
Can
finally,
you do it for us?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I probably got to show you a little bit.
Yeah.
Solo bit. All
I
right.
don't know if you need to warm up. Like, do you need to lubricate the lip?
I know. I gotta wet my whistle a bit here. All right. So it's like. Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Way.
Dude, I feel like that's mostly like in the lips, right? Like, what is there a technique there?
No, not really. It's just it's a lot on the lip. I don't really even know how to describe it, but yeah, kids, if you're watching this, that's how you if you want to get signed to a record label, you got to know how to do that. So no, I'm joking.
Well, let's segue from that into Stacy. I think it's a very beautiful segue. Was that the first record to start off this album?
Yeah, that was the first. Honestly, that song inspired the entire album. I wrote that song with Jon Bellion, who is always, I feel like a very common theme on your show is Jon Bellion. A lot of people come with these interviews and they somehow, one way or another, bring his name up, because I just think he inspires a lot of people. But yeah, Jon and I wrote that song along with Michael Pollack, who does a lot of like Loud's music, and also Jorgen Odegaard. Yeah, Michael's insane. So like I kind of got in the studio with a really good group of people, and we made that song. And I told him I was going for something a little more nostalgic, a little like late 90s kind of like alternative sound, but still sort of would fit in this modern pop world. And the second that we kind of crafted the idea for that song, I just kind of had a realization that I wanted to make an album all about that high school and throwback sort of theme. And I kind of just ran with it from there. But no, Stacy was the kind of the catalyst and like the thing that really sparked the inspiration to this project, which that's never really been the case before. Like I've always gone into albums knowing what I wanted the theme to be about, but this was the first time where like I went into making a song without any idea what the album would be like, and that song sparked the inspiration for the whole body of work. So
I mean, it's so good. It's essentially it's such a vivid story. You know, I've listened to it so many times, and I could just see it so in my head.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Stacy makes an appearance later on in the album, so she really, you know, you drop her name. I forget the song, but it is
2 Tens.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 Tens. Yes. Good job. Thank you. I thought that was cool because I've listened to like when I listened to like Good Kid, Mad City, which is clearly nothing like my album, but I like that Kendrick Lamar always mentioned Shireen, I think was his like high school girlfriend, and she kind of made an appearance on like a lot of the songs. Like he would drop her name on a lot of different songs, and I thought that just made it seem like a real story, you know. Like I thought that was really cool how he painted like characters in his album. And so for me, I mean, I only did it on one other song, like 2 Tens, but I still enjoyed that I did that because I thought it was a little like, I don't know, kind of like tied in the story more, and it made you more like I wanted you to really get the idea, like you said, Zach, of like painting it in your head and like envisioning like what high school I was talking about and where it was that I was when I was, you know, writing this song. So
is Stacy real?
She's based off someone. So yeah, I mean, her name, the girl who I'm referring to, isn't Stacy. Like her name's not Stacy, but that person is a real person. Yeah.
I feel like your wife's name and Stacy too close, you know.
Well, okay, can I actually say something? Because yeah, my wife's name is Macy. Who have you met? Macy? You've met Macy, right? Yeah. She came to the last interview we did, I think.
Yes, and I met her out, and I was coherent, and I was very aware of every time I've met her. I mean, maybe once I wasn't coherent, but the other times very coherent. My friend's bulldogs around here. I do want to check in on your children.
Yeah, man, they're running around somewhere. I'll have to get them in here because I know you're a father too now, so we're gonna have to set up some play dates.
Really, you don't even need to talk to me, dude.
Yeah,
We can just sit there in silence if you want.
yeah,
I don't care. I'll abide any rules. My dog needs friends.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Ricky took him to the dog park the other day. I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. Back to this. Stacy
Um,
Macy.
no, we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll save that for another time. No, so what was I saying? I'm sorry.
You were connecting the two.
Yes, Stacy and Macy. So everyone thinks in like, I'm happy you brought this up because I can maybe put this like theory to rest. But like a lot of my fans are like, well, if you go back into one of his Quinn's late, like my last album, I had a song called Iron and Steel, and one of the lyrics in the song is writing lyrics that rhyme with your name. That was the lyric in the song. And so now with Stacy, everyone's like, oh, his wife's Macy. That according to his like older songs, this might be Macy, might be Stacy.
You incriminated yourself.
Yeah, that was like not intentional whatsoever. That was just by chance. Like the song isn't about her, but I think it's clever how like people will string things together. But like, I kind of almost wish it was real because it's kind of sweet that like I had like some earlier songs that sort of like hinted at like this maybe being who I'm talking about in this song, but no, it's not that in depth.
No premonition.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was actually a girl who said, you can call me by my name and nothing else, right?
More or less, yeah. Like just yeah.
Does she know these songs exist?
What's that?
Does she know the record exists?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to her in literally years. I mean, mind you, like my relationship with her was super vague to begin with, so like we weren't even that close. I don't even know if she knows like I'm making music or anything, but I don't know. She might know it exists, but to be honest, it hasn't really crossed my mind. But I like kind of picking out people in my experiences that like were just sort of brief glimpses and like helping me become the person I am today. And so, yeah, I don't know. She fit that story well, and I'm glad I got to write a song about it. But I don't know if she knows the song or not. Yeah,
those moments, they end up being defining.
Yeah,
they stick with you.
Totally.
She's gone with the wind, but she had an impact that clearly lasted and will last forever.
Oh yeah, yep.
Stacy comes first. Does Jon work with you on other songs on the album, or does he kind of just lay essentially the sonic tone, right, with that record?
Basically, yeah. He just helped with that one, and then the plan was to make more music with him for the album, but he was in the midst of releasing Glory Sound Prep at the time. So I mean, like we wrote this song a while ago, and we just didn't get to work on as many songs as we wanted to. But I mean, the one that he did work on, like you said, it really created like the soundscape for the entire record. So I brought that song to everyone that I worked with on the album. I worked with a really good friend of mine, Ahmad Royal, who executive produced basically the entire project. And I brought that song to him, and I was like, hey, man, I want to just make an album like this song. Like, can we just create this world together? And yeah, so, but that was a great reference to always bring in the studio to show people, because I think once I showed them that song, they really understood like what I was going for.
Yeah, but the direction was so clear, but in a great way, like people could understand it, and it really did carry through beautifully.
Yeah, thank you. There's like a novelty aspect, like record to like it reminded me like even with like Stacy's Mom, which is like we get jokes sometimes still about that song with our song, and but even like Stacy's Mom is such a novelty song that like it was so like I love that both those songs are kind of in their own world, and you could probably make an album about Stacy's Mom, just as I made an album about that song Stacy. So there's just a lot of like subject matter with Stacy and everything. So it was easy to show people and kind of run off with.
Fountains of Wayne, one of the greatest bands to ever exist.
Yeah.
Really.
Was that their only are they a one-hit wonder, would you consider?
No, okay, so that album was very defining for the genre, and then I'm blanking on his name, but he just recently passed. I believe he was the writer and maybe the front man. He went on to being one of the greatest like TV composers.
No way.
He would write for like movies and TV. Dan, can you Google his name for me if you get it?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I saw him. He passed away recently, right?
Yes, and I believe it was tragically of COVID.
Yeah, it was Adam Schlesinger.
Yes.
Yes, and I believe he won Emmys. Like he was highly respected in a whole different realm of music.
Yeah.
But that song, I mean, dude, I'm from Wayne, New Jersey, which houses Fountains of Wayne. So I am slightly a little bit more gung ho.
Bias.
Yeah,
Bias,
that's
yeah.
the word I'm looking for. Bias. Yes.
I always got Fountains of Wayne and Bowling for Soup. Like I thought those were the same bands for like a very long time.
Come on, 1985,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And there was one guy. I think he was like one of the members of that band was morbidly obese, and like
Really?
yes, yeah. Google that one for me, Daniel.
Dude,
Morbidly obese Bowling for Soup band member.
Bowling for Soup was the second concert I ever went to. First one I went to by myself.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
You
such
went
an
alone to a.
Well, not like by myself, without my parents back in like middle school.
Whoa.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
It wasn't 18 over.
I don't remember. Well, maybe I did have a parent now that I'm thinking about it, so I could have just lied.
Okay, great.
I wish you said it'd just be funny if someone told me like Bowling for Soup's my favorite band. Not to say that like they couldn't be your favorite band, but like I don't know. I just think that'd be so funny.
Also, I think about when I think about Bowling for Soup, I also think of 303 for some reason.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Yeah, like they're from Denver. Yeah, that whole like like electronic hip hop punk emo thing, like it was amazing. Them and Metro Station I also loved. They're not like 303, but like
no, but like same vein,
yeah.
Bamboozle, Warped Tour crowd, like
Yep.
By the way, that was, dude, I can even like, do you remember the fucking Ready set?
Of course.
Yo, like where's he? I had that conversation recently with somebody, and I'm like, I tried Googling him, couldn't find him.
Yeah.
Not the Ready set. No, I'm talking about somebody else. The Ready set. Jordan is amazing. He writes. I'm talking about what's his name? He was another guy. I will get his name.
Wait, he was his own band, like one person?
Yes, it was one guy, and he would play with the guitar. Oh my gosh. What's
From that era?
Yes. Not the Ready Set. Dude, he's had hits. Ready Set has 2 different hits to his name. Both were top 40 smashes, and Jordan writes. Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody else. Never Shout Never.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was going to say, don't feel bad.
Never shall never.
We're talking about this, but don't feel bad because this is all on brand with nostalgia, and this is what the album was supposed to do. So we are still on track right now. So.
Cobra Starship, they were one too.
Cobra Starship,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gabe Support is a great guy. He was Cobra Starship, I think, right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Sleep While I Drive, great record. Let's just dive right back in.
I think that's my favorite one off the album.
Because
Thanks,
there's
man.
such a bigger message there.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Dude, I wanted to go for something kind of like Tame Impala-esque on that one, and but still have this sort of vintage, grainy feel. And yeah, that song's about just like, look, like you can kind of put all your baggage on me, and I'll just take it from here, and you can sleep while I metaphorically drive us into shelter, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Ash is on that song, who's a great friend of mine. She's having such a cool moment right now, which I think is awesome with her song World Story. And so to get her to, get on this album, she was on the last one, but to get her on this album just while she's having this moment is really special.
I'm really, and I know you're going to be more bummed than I, but I had like 3 or 4 trips planned around your different shows this summer. I was going to go to Red Rocks.
Were you really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Wanted to see that Jeremy Zucker and the whole crew, Chelsea
Yeah.
and you. And then I was going to go to New Jersey to see you and Ash and Hobo, right?
Mm-hmm,
And AJR, PNC.
Yeah, a lot of you're friends with you're like in the mix with everyone on that lineup.
I love all of you, and PNC is my favorite venue of all time. And I'm really, I can't be more bummed than all of you, obviously. But I was really looking forward to that lineup and to that mix of talent because it is really unique, and I thought it's cool. I thought it was a cool lineup.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I know it's such a bittersweet thing. We're hoping to come back, strong and do something special. Like, can't really say what it is now, but we're trying to come back with something special planned just to kind of make up for that. But you're right, dude. It sucked. Like, Red Rocks was gonna be such a special moment for me and the whole mutual friends group, Jeremy and Chelsea and AOK, and yeah, it just would have been awesome to have like all of our friends and family there. But like I said, I think hopefully if we come back next year with maybe like a little tour lined up, I don't know, I can't really speak on it yet, but we'll see if that happens. But yeah, in the AJR guys, like, dude, I was honestly bummed because I just like, I've heard such good things about their show, and I just wanted to kind of see it every night, like side stage, and just check it out. And I guess I'll just have to wait, until the next time. But
It's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a good show. It's
yeah.
really cool, and it's technologically
Right. I hear it's like a Broadway performance, and like I just want to experience that myself. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll make up for it, I'm sure. But it's a tough time for everybody right now. But I think that's why I can deal with it though, because it's not like I'm just being punished. Like it's the entire industry, the whole world.
everybody.
So,
We're
yeah.
all in this together. Truthfully,
Yeah.
so wear a mask.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you want to cut it down. If you really want to be able to go back to some form of normalcy, wear a mask. It's not
Mhm.
political. Cut.
It's humanitarian.
Yo, beautiful human. The only thing I put under my armpits is native deodorant. I love it. I'm actually kind of obsessed with it. It makes me smell great. Plus, it's made with things that I understand. I love reading a label and understanding what I'm putting on my body. Ingredients include coconut oil. I know it. Shea butter. I know what that is. Tapioca starch. Plus, it's vegan and it's aluminum free and it smells great and it works great too. Dan, I'm going to get you native. I'm going to get you a stick.
Oh, I would love that.
I think you're a lavender and rose guy. I think that's really going to come through your pores.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
My favorite, vanilla coconut, great scent, been wearing it for a while, but I might try cucumber and mint. But there's 10 flavors and they rotate flavors. There's 10 cents. You cannot eat these, but they smell so good that you might think about licking it. There's 10 cents that rotate seasonally, so there really is something for everybody. And you should sign up for their newsletter if you want to be in the loop on what's new and what's happening. Also, if you want to try out Native, I'll hook you up with a discount, 20% off, if you go to nativedeodorant.com/Zach. And when you check out, use my name as the promo code. That's Zach, Z-A-C-H. Use that at checkout. Native Deodorant. I wouldn't be telling you about it if I didn't love it. nativedeodorant.com/Zach. 14,000 5-star reviews. Plus, it's easy to purchase and it's totally risk-free. If you don't like it, send it back, get your money back. You can do it within the first 30 days. But did I mention 14,000 5-star reviews, Daniel?
That's pretty good.
You're going to be smelling like 15,000 stars.
It's a lot of stars to be smelling like. Yeah.
nativedeodorant.com/Zach. 20% off. Use my name for the promo code. Smell great. How do you go to Ash with this, back to business? Do you go to Ash with a song finished, or do you want to write this with her? Like, do you have an idea and essentially craft it out and then try to fill a gap? Or does this song come from a session together?
It kind of varies. She and I actually wrote together. There's a song on the album called Coffee. That was one of the singles. She and I wrote that song together, just like on a piano. Okay. So, I mean, songs can be birthed that way. Other times, like with Sleep While I Drive, I wrote that song by myself, and I was just like, I think she'd be great on it. Just texted her it, sent it to her, and she hopped on the bridge in the couple of the choruses. But no, so to answer your question, it kind of varies. I think what's so cool when you have friends like that talented, I don't think it really matters how you make the song. Like they're gonna fit in, regardless. So it's great. I'm super happy she was a part of it, and yeah, I guess it depends on certain songs. I think some are easier. Some you can just like call on friends to hop on. Other times you kind of have to sit down and make it from scratch. But in this case, it was something I just sent to her, and she was like, "Yeah, dope. I'll hop on it." And yeah, it was pretty organic.
Was it a song that you knew needed two sides to the story, essentially?
I didn't. You know what's funny? I wrote the song without that perspective, and then when I was done with recording it, it hit me. I was like, it would be nice to throw like a female's thought on this song. And so yeah, it kind of struck me once everything was done. I probably could have released it as just my perspective, but I think she really brings a really cool like sense to the record and evens it out a bit.
Whole new dynamic and a whole new layer.
Yeah.
Am I high right now? I mean, I don't think there's a record that speaks to me more. Like truthfully,
yeah.
Usually yes. But I understand everything you said.
Dude, that one is that like I wanted to, because in my head, and I think you guys probably all have this image, is like of like the first time you smoked weed, for example. And for me, like that was such a, like I use the term historical lightly, but like it was like for me, it was like such a like a memory to like always think about, because it was with all my like some of my best friends I still have to this day, like in my friend's backyard, like in the summertime in Michigan. And it just kind of like summed up like this summer I had in high school. And yeah, I just wanted to make an album that kind of like spoke on just like that feeling of that feeling you've never felt before, you know. And even though it is just like it's weed, like I still think that's like that is an interesting topic. And yeah, I just wanted to make like a very like visual song. And I may or may not have smoked a little bit to get into the mindset for that, but it was a cool thing to do, and just kind of act like a kid again, and just kind of say words that just flowed off the brain. And you know, even though they might have not made that much sense, I think that was the point, was to kind of just be like very visceral with it, and just, I don't know, like just be a little kid about it. So no. And then Blackbear comes on the song, and he has a really cool perspective too. So it's a fun one for sure.
How does that one work? Is that one where you finish and then you give it to him, or does it start from
So, dude, what's funny is, so I sent that song to him. What's funny though is so Macy is an interior designer, and she's actually designing his house right now, the interior.
Wow.
And so I wasn't even close with him. It wasn't like I literally have to give all the credit to my wife on this, because he knew that she was married to me, but it wasn't like we were talking before that. And so she was like, hey, Mike's got like a song he was thinking about like maybe sending to you. And he's like, yeah, like just like let's talk about it. And sure enough, he like hit me up on Instagram, and I sent him the song, and he got on it. And so yeah, like I have to give full credit to my wife on A&Ring that for me.
First of all,
I love that.
yeah, your house must be gorgeous.
I really like it. She did an amazing job. We're in the office right now. We gotta hang some stuff up. Like this looks kind of like a psych ward behind me a little bit, but it's very white walls. But no, she's brilliant. She's starting her own company out of my garage right now with a friend of ours, and she's killing it. So I'm very lucky. I'm like in a relationship with someone who has taste, because I don't know if I would like do a good job at any of this. So yeah.
By the way, please don't speak on your white walls. Daniel has a red lawn chair. That's his only piece of furniture, in addition to a bed. And that's
no way.
No, that's not a joke.
No, I own nothing. I own absolutely nothing.
Dan, let's set up a meeting. I'll get you a quote on how my wife can help you.
I mean, I'd be down. Although I do have a fiddle leaf fig in my apartment. I see you got a nice one over your shoulder right there.
You know what's funny too is this thing was dying for a very long time, and we just kind of got it back to life. We've been having to move because our house gets like good sunlight, but there's certain pockets of the house that like are totally dark. So it's been like a constant rearranging game of just like where to put plants. But yeah, the fig trees it's a vibe for sure. I do a little bit of meditating in here. It's nice. It zens me out a bit.
So Dan, you have a red lawn chair and a fig?
Yeah, but I just don't like owning things. I just feel like it weighs me down when I want to move or go somewhere. I have to pack it all up. Like, Zach, you just moved and it was a fortune, right?
Oh my God, yeah, it cost me.
I'm the same, Dan. I know what you're saying. I'm the same way. I kind of for a while I've always like, I'm gonna move soon. Why do we need furniture? Like, well, we need furniture, but like, why do we need paintings and everything? And
yeah.
But I don't think you can think that way. I think you're just gonna you just gotta pull the trigger and get something.
You're gonna go crazy. You need to set a tone. You need to set an energy with something. If you wake up every day and it's just white, it's just too much. Like, I mean,
Dan, are you single?
Oh yeah. So
that's
absolutely.
Probably. I guarantee you, the minute you get in a relationship, it's all gonna change. I promise you, because
I'm sure no girl would walk in here and be like, "Wow, I love what you've done with the place."
Yeah.
Dude, there's nowhere for them to sit. You're gonna stand, and they're gonna be in the red lawn chair.
I will say though, Kim and Kanye's house. I don't know if you've seen it. There's they have no furniture at all.
Yeah.
So you can just say you're going for a very modern look, and might work.
Yeah, Kim is my inspiration.
Walmart modern.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, anyway, yeah. Back. Enough of this.
You have a question?
No, I don't. Go ahead. What the? No, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I have 1,000 things to say.
The next song, Red Lawn Chair. How does that inspire? Yeah,
Sounds like a country song.
yeah.
The trumpets on A Letter to My Younger Self, are those real, actual brass?
um, those are not. Those aren't the famous mouth trumpet that you heard earlier. That's actually like trumpets. Not real trumpets. There's just like a program sound that we use for it. But
Sounds good.
yeah,
It's right.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
by the way, that record, like, at what point in this album do you craft the title track?
That was okay. So I mean, obviously that's the title track, but it wasn't until I didn't know what the album was going to be called, and then we were sitting in the studio session for that song, and Ahmad, who I was mentioning earlier to you, who kind of really executive produced this entire record, was just like, why don't we call it A Letter to My Younger Self? It kind of sums up the entire concept of the project, and it was such a light bulb moment, and I just was like, all right, that's genius, let's do it. And yeah, so, and which is also different for me because I'm always so particular on like what I want to call my albums, and it's always me who comes up with the titles, and I'm normally very just like, let me handle it, I'll come up with the title, let you guys know what it is. But for that instance, like that one just made so much sense to call it. And I've never had a self-titled track either. Like I've never had a song and the same album and the album be the same title. So I thought that was like a cool change for me.
I mean, it sounds literally, if you listen top to bottom, it's a letter to your younger self. Every
Yeah.
song has a purpose. Every song essentially passes on a lesson. I thought when I was listening to it.
Dude, that's the point. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate like that. That's the goal. So hopefully everyone shares that same opinion.
Do you get in with Bob when you craft this with Mr. Logic, or is it done separately?
He's in a very like like a transitional point in his life. Like he just had a baby. He's
The verse, right?
yeah,
Tell us your story.
yeah, his whole verse is like speaking to his fans, and also his son that he just had. That was a situation where I was just like, dude, if you can get on this, I would love to. If not, I totally understand. You're a very busy person right now. You have babies, diapers, all that stuff. Just got married. Like he's in a world of his own. But he got on it. He found some time to record a verse down. He laid like 64 bars down. Like he raps like, it doesn't sound like he's rapping as much as he is, but we actually had to craft the production in that verse to make it progress so it didn't feel as if like it was too stretched out. But like in the original version, it was just like a loop of the drums, and it was like a ton of rapping, and I was like, oh, this is like I love this, but it's almost like too much. But then we actually we scaled the production differently, and we kind of like made it arc a little bit so it felt like it was telling more of a story. But I mean, look,
Wow.
I'm happy I'd rather get 64 rap bars from Logic than nothing. So, and his fans, I think for his fans too, like he's been on a bit of a hiatus lately until he drops his next record. And I think it's great that he got to like reintroduce himself back into the scene on this song. I thought that was really special, and I'm super humbled that he got to do that. So his fans have been really cool, reaching out to me and just saying like how much they love that he got to be on a song, and they got to hear his voice again. So it's a cool thing. Yeah.
I find that really interesting how the production had to really kind of shape its way to the lyrics, right? To help tell that story and to help make it flow.
Yeah.
In a way that really, made the most impact.
Yeah.
One of the things that stands out from our first conversation was that you used to use AirPods, right? When you were like, working on records. Do you still do that?
I do. I've actually like downscaled. Is that the word? Downscaled or like
downgraded?
Downgrade. Yeah. To now I'm just using like the standard corded ones.
Whoa.
The ones that Dan's got. Yeah. And dude, I'll say it. I said it last time I was on the show. I'll say it again. Like I just feel like when I listen to songs on those types of headphones, I feel like if it sounds good on that, it just makes it's more clear to me, and I prefer kind of using ones, so to speak. But I also I'll listen to those for everything though, not even just like my own like mixes and stuff. So it's all perspective, I get a preference.
I listened to the album using my AirPod Pros, and it sounded superb. Really vivid stuff, man.
I made this song just for AirPods, and Apple plug, whatever, headphones. I can't even like.
And Tim
describe
Cook
it.
isn't even in, like
Yeah.
you really should get in on this.
I know.
Um, what are you thinking, Daniel?
Well, Sleep When I Drive sounds great in a car. Do you ever test your music that way? Because that's like a great driving song.
A little bit. My car's system is not too great, but I've played it in other people's cars, and yeah, the whole car test is that's like the really old school way of listening to music. Like people always say like if it doesn't like bump in your car, like you got to change something about it. But Sleep While I Drive is a good one in the car for sure, because literally, it's the song is about driving, so I think it just helps that you're listening to it in a car. But also sound systems in cars are normally much better than obviously headphones. So no, but I don't do much of the album listening in my car. Weirdly enough, I'm more of like a podcast person and like talk radio, and so I'll listen to it when I'm like on the Sonos cooking or something, or like I'll just put my earphones in. Yeah.
Good taste in the car. Good taste. Quality content. Keep it.
NPR, and a lot of like spiritual podcasts, like affirmations and stuff. Because when I'm driving on the 405, I want to like rip my brain out. So like I need someone to like calm me down, and that's what I get. I need my affirmations just to kind of zen me out a bit.
The 2 I's: information, enlightenment. Okay.
Enlightenment starts with an E.
Yeah, what are you talking
Goddamn.
about? How did you graduate high school? What?
Zach thought that was so intelligent.
Yeah.
He was waiting for the moment to say it too. Like he was waiting for the right moment.
Oh, we could end it right there. That's perfect.
I want to ask, was it hard? Like you probably graduated like 9-10 years ago at this point. So was it hard looking back and putting these stories together and trying to figure out what exactly happened in those moments?
Honestly, I think it was easier than I thought, because I guess I didn't realize how still like on my like brain those stories are. Like I think once I went down like one rabbit hole of memories, like they all just started kind of coming back naturally. So yeah, no, that's a really good question. I do think though it wasn't as tough as I thought. Sometimes I think I had to like I'm not even joking. I actually like went through my yearbook at one point and just kind of like scroll through some pages to kind of pick up any type of inspiration. But that was like on one occasion. Other times I just felt like, I really enjoyed my high school experience. So I think I think about it more often than I would expect to. So when it was time to talk about certain memories, it just kind of came naturally. Yeah.
Yo, beautiful human, message and data rates may apply. Have you been thinking about going back to school? If the answer is yes, you really should think about the following stuff. Do you need flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Are you coming from a school? Like, do you have to transfer credits when you move to a new school? And do you want to earn a highly respected degree from a world-renowned university? If you, friend, answered yes to any of those questions, Arizona State University really could be the school for you. Arizona State University right now offering over 200 highly ranked degree programs, 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree that students earn on campus, all designed by their world-renowned faculty. You're learning the good stuff. Plus, you do it from wherever you are, totally on your schedule. You can be at home, you can be on the road. ASU online degrees, they kind of morph to you. Why not learn more? If you're interested, text my name Zach to 35517. That is Zach to 35517. Discover for yourself why ASU has been ranked #1 for innovation for the last 5 years in a row, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited or offered jobs within 90 days of graduation. That's wild. Learn to thrive at Arizona State University. If you want to learn more information, just, again, text my name Zach to 35517. Do you still have friends from high school?
Oh yeah. They're mainly all back in Michigan, but yeah, I got like a really solid crew of like friends there, like mainly like a big group of guy friends that I have, and they're all getting engaged and are married right now and stuff, and we're all kind of doing our own adulting. But no, they're all still friends, and I think that's a really special thing to hold on to those friends, and it's very rare. So I'm definitely super grateful that I got some homies back home that I can see when I go back there.
It is good because it keeps you in touch with who you are.
Yeah, and it keeps me grounded too, because like if they see me out here in California and they think oh, Hollywood and everything, but like if they see me doing some dumb, like they'll call me out on it, and they'll put me in place and check me a bit. So you need that, you need someone to ground you. And luckily I have like 20 people to ground me, and they're all different. So yeah, it's good.
Meeting strangers. When I'm listening to that record, to me it sounds like the stage, like post being in a relationship or hooking up with someone, where you're like forced to meet all these new people.
Yeah, so you got it basically right. It was the transition. I went from what I was going through from my senior year in high school to my freshman year in college. And that summer I got dumped by my then girlfriend. And that was the girlfriend that I wrote like Straight Jacket about. And that she's been like the big piece to a lot of my music. She knows that these songs are about her, by the way, too. So back to what you asked me earlier, like, does Stacy know it's about her? Like, I don't really know if she does, but that girl definitely does. So no, the Meeting Strangers was about me. I had a really tough freshman year of college. Like, I was super depressed. I went home like every weekend because I just didn't want to like branch out and meet people. I was just so heartbroken. And it was because she was younger than me. So she was becoming a senior in high school. So I think I like subconsciously wanted to like be back in my hometown because I felt closer to her. And it was a whole thing. So that song is about just like trying to meet strangers and trying to meet not only just like new girls, but just like new people in general. But having this like closed-mindedness and just not being able to like the wound is still so fresh that it's like, you don't know if you can just like forget that it happened and move on. So it was a weird time for me because like, yeah, like that was the first time I ever got broken up with, like dumped. And it was also the first time, I was entering college. So it was a very like heavy moment for me. So yeah, that song's special for sure. It kind of touches on a lot of things that I was going through at that time. But made me stronger, I think. And I'm glad I got through it. And Sublimity, I think I'm glad she broke up with me because it created some pretty great songs in my opinion. So yeah.
Is there a record off this album that best describes where you're at now and who you are now?
I think it's Everything I Need, which is the last song off the album, which we talked about. And that song was written about graduation, high school graduation. But the lyric in that chorus is Everything I Need is in front of me. And I think right now as a person, as like a adult and everything, and like someone who's getting really in touch with like faith and spirituality and meditating and being present and just enjoying the moment, like that song really represents, I think, who I am right now, because I think it's so common that we just focus on what's next and what is, how do we get from point A to point B, and we don't really enjoy the moment of getting there. And speaking of AJR, actually, they have a lyric in Neo Theater. It's like, Zach, you might know, what's the first song off Neo Theater?
Yeah, it sets up the entire thing.
They said it in their interview with you, and I love this, but not to cut you off, but they were saying like,
Next Up Forever.
Yeah. Next up forever. And I love that concept of like the feeling of being next up is actually much better than being the guy, like being the number one, like being to that point that you always want to get to. So it's like that come up, and it's that idea of like traveling to get to that point that is really the great part. And once you get there, it's not as exciting. So for me, why I say that is because I think this Everything I Need song represents me the most, is because I think like being in the present is actually like the best part of being alive. And it's like, you're not going to really, I don't think like, I don't know, like you're just, it's not going to feel as fulfilling once you get to where you want to go. Like once you have everything you want, I think you'll look back on getting there, and that's going to be more exciting than, having everything with you, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of,
it's the journey. It's not really the destination.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
say like sexual tension and the foreplay is better than the actual sex.
All right, guys, this was great. I'll talk to you later.
Doesn't that no? Nobody?
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to speak on my situation.
Well, really did something to a beautiful moment, which is you got to enjoy the journey as opposed to being focused on the destination. And I that song Next Up Forever, in my life felt very understood, right? There's this love and this anticipation and this hype around getting there, you know? And
Mhm.
then but sometimes it's like, and a lot of people, they just go from one to the next and you don't even fucking soak in what the next was.
No, no, no. Like you're in it. We're all in it currently. We're all experiencing that moment that we wanted forever, like right now. And like I think, you know, I don't know. It's yeah, not to get too philosophical, but yeah, I think that song really represents me right now and just kind of where my mind's at thinking. And especially with everything going on, I think this has really given me a chance to, like, as I'm sure it has with all you guys, like a chance to just really have a perspective shift and think about things differently. And so yeah, it's a good that's a good song. I think that really kind of encapsulates like how I'm doing and like who I am right now.
When did you finish this album?
I thought I finished it in November, and then we realized that we wanted to kind of push the envelope a little more and see what we could get. We could get a couple more songs on it, and we did. So I ended up finishing it the top of the year, so right around like middle of January, it was done. Yeah.
Are you
What were the songs that you added?
We hadn't added Second Time Around, which actually comes out tonight, which is a single, and I think it's like the most powerful song I've ever put out, which is
Yeah,
about
it's
just.
a great song. So
Thank
to
you.
think that
Yeah,
you
I
wouldn't
know.
have it on there is kind of crazy.
I know it is. I know, and more often than not, I feel like that's kind of the common theme. Is like I'll think I'm done making the album, and then my manager will be like, "All right, let's just try to go a little more and like go to the studio for a couple more weeks. Let's see what we get." And that's kind of when we always get like the real good ones. So I'm glad I have someone in my like team who constantly challenges me because like you said, like I wouldn't have had this song if I didn't, keep pushing myself. But yeah, no, I think yeah, that song's really, really, really special and really kind of also is like very parallel. It parallels this time we have right now with just kind of like getting a second chance at sort of like hitting the reset button on life and, changing our ways a bit and, being on the right side of history and stuff. That song's more about self-forgiveness and just like self-love, but I think it ties into what we're dealing with right now.
But by the way, I think about it all the time. If I can go back, I would do so much differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what's funny though, Zach, is like I think that way too, but I don't think about it from like a regretful standpoint. Like I don't regret the things I didn't do, but you still think about it as like I would do that differently, but I don't regret that. At least for me, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't regret the things that have happened, but I would like to change things if I could. But
you don't regret where it
yeah.
led you. You don't regret the actions, but would you go? But if you went right in one situation and later on in life that you should have went left.
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think about cancel culture and when I heard that song, because like we've all made mistakes in our past. No one's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on the internet's getting canceled for past mistakes. I'm like, look in the mirror. Are you perfect? You've probably fucked up 1,000 times too.
Dude, 100%. And we're in the thick of cancel culture right now. I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of cancel culture in general, but like, there's been a lot of stories coming out lately, and it's just you're right. No, Dan, you're totally right. Like, it's yeah. I mean, it speaks on that subject too, but it's nuts. Yeah, and no one's perfect, so that's kind of what the song's trying to get across.
Notice me. That spoke to me as well. I feel like that was that based on reality?
Yeah, that was about just me being like the shy kid in high school and not really talking a lot in class and having like the courage to speak up on things, but just never doing it. Like just being too afraid of what people would think of my ideas and yeah, almost being like I have dreams, but like, whatever. If those dreams don't come true, I'm complacent with what I have, and kind of just like waving the white flag a bit and being like, if if they don't come true, they don't come true. Which wasn't like a great, I don't think, place to be in. Like it wasn't like, I don't know. I had motivation, but I was also like, I was almost more willing to like say screw it. Like if it doesn't come true, like whatever. And I don't think that's like not how I don't think people should live their lives. So kind of wanted to bring that topic up. That's one of my favorite songs on the album. And I'm actually playing guitar on that song too. So got to flex a bit of my musicality. So yeah, but no, that one's special to me for sure.
you were okay with settling if your dreams didn't come true, almost like it would like that'd be an excuse, right?
Mhm. Yeah, like it almost not even like an excuse, but I was just I don't know. I just sort of looked at it like, hey, well, I mean, I tried. That's good enough. And I understand that, like, when people have that philosophy, like, I get it. Like, look, if you don't try, that's even worse. But at least, like, you put your foot forward and you try to make something happen. But for me, I was almost like I was accepting in high school that I was just the shy kid, and it like I was almost more comfortable knowing that than trying to realize like my true potential as like a person and an artist and everything. And I was almost just accepting the fact that like my shyness was going to make me not have a, some sort of success or like stand out. And then I just kind of snapped out of it at one point. Like it was really weird. I just sort of like,
What pushes that?
yeah, I don't know. I think it was through talks with friends and showing some friends my ideas and getting those early like affirmations of like positivity and those compliments. And little by little they just sort of like compounded on each other and sort of like gave me more confidence. It's weird though because like I said I was shy in class, but like I had friends, like I was a social person. But yeah, there was something about just sort of like being vulnerable and showing people my music that I was really scared of. And it wasn't until like my like last days of high school that I kind of just said, screw it. I'm like, there are enough people like this where I'm just going to make a push for it. And I put out my first like mixtape and just kind of like went from there. But yeah, it's a tough thing. Like I commend anybody who makes art because you're putting yourself on the line. Like you're wearing your emotions on your sleeve and yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, but I also don't think you should just like I said, sort of wave a white flag and just because you're a shy person, don't just think that like that's going to be your end all be all. Like you can use that shyness and then speak on topics that help the other shy people that don't have a platform, just sort of use that as like your motivation. So,
Yeah, you use your art as your voice. That's really
right.
it's cool. It's cool to see that turn into all of this. Like, are you still scared today when you put something out? Like, even this album.
Yeah. Honestly, not really. I'm so happy. I'm super like honestly blessed that I don't feel that way because I think at this point all cards are off and I have to be like I have enough people in my corner and like really paying attention to what I say that I can't afford to be scared and I have to just kind of go forward with my ideas. And yeah, so I look, my fans are exactly like the reason why I have the courage to do that. Like they're my motivation, and the fact that I get people messaging me, that the music helps them so much. Like that's the exact reason why I can say things that make me a little uncomfortable because, I know there's people out there that want to hear those things. So it's a two-way street for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's a
years on the other end.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
people love it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah, man.
by the way, you need to listen to this album, A Letter to My Younger Self. It is courtesy of Quinn XCII. And usually I ask the question, but I'm gonna demand that people listen in order because it flows. It flows beautifully, one song to the next. Like they make sense together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, man. Yeah, and sonically too, I think we tried to like put certain songs in order that just kind of flowed naturally. Not even just like the lyrics that told the story, but like the rhythms of the songs and the energy. It just kind of all comes full circle a bit, in my opinion, at least. So,
A sonic journey, truly. Question: do you believe that you started, or one of the founding members of adding your birth year or age to the end of your name? Because after Quinn XCII, aka Quinn XCII, was born, at least in my bubble of life, then I see other people popping up with either their birth year or their birthday. I don't
I've
know.
never thought about that. I joke with a friend of mine, Alexander 23, who
Yeah.
he's an incredible artist. But we always say we have like screen name artist names, like AOL, like that's what it feels like. So I was like, we got to make like a boy band up that just is named like AOL or something, and we make like a whole project about like that era with like, because our names are just so like out of that, time. But I don't know. I can't really. Are there people that come to mind? Because I mean, like, look, some people are like, you ripped off Charlie XCX to me, and I totally understand that. She doesn't go by Charlie. Like, that's not her. Is XCX a Roman numeral? I don't even know.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to say accused, but people will be like, oh, like Charlie XCX, Quinn XCII, like I can't. There's such common names. I wouldn't say I started it. I'm not really sure. I'm flattered if more people are doing it, if they think it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look that up. But
I'll get you a full list of.
give me a list. Put it on my desk by Monday. I'll let you know.
Got it.
What I think.
Alexander,
Guys, quickly, Charlie XCX was her MSN Messenger name.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
full
There you
circle.
go.
Yeah.
So maybe she's gonna have to get on board, and we'll do that band together. The screen name people. I don't know.
I think there's something there. I think that album could have a lot of great sounds to use to.
The first sound of the album will be that like that like AOL dial tone thing that like
Yes.
so ear screeching and just awful. But,
Yeah, it's painful, but it's nostalgic, and sometimes the past is painful.
no one would know nowadays. No one would know what that is. So it's like, why even? I don't even know if it'd be worth putting it in
What do
there.
you mean? What do you mean nobody's gonna know? What are you making? What do you make? Only making songs for Generation Alpha? Like, who are you?
I only make songs for
Fetuses?
14-year-old TikTokers. That's all I make songs for.
Dude, 14 and under.
Yeah. That's my demographic.
Fresh from the womb.
Yeah.
Maybe sophomore year of high school.
5-year-old. Yeah.
They're going to be called Generation Alpha. That's the name of their generation.
Well, oh, that wasn't even that. That's real.
That's real. So it's like it's Generation Z is younger than us, and then younger than them is Generation.
Because you can't go below Z on the alphabet. Yeah, so you got to go
start again, I guess. So then the next one will be Generation B or something. I don't know.
beta.
Wow, that's so weird. I can't.
That's weird. That's weird.
About it. That's like a 2035 thing. We'll revisit that in 15 years. Any other thoughts, everybody?
I actually have a question that I saw on a Reddit thread from one of your fans.
Yeah.
Since John helped you write Stacy, they had actually said on Reddit, they're like, I wonder if he's the background vocals in the song.
He is. He is.
Ah.
That's his voice. Yeah. I think it's cool too because like that's a big part of the song. And just to kind of have his flavor on it, like I know he helped write it, but just to have his voice on it, I think is really cool. It's funny because he does that, like he wrote Trumpets by Jason Derulo, and his voice is actually in the trumpets part of that song too. So he's done it a few times in other records he's wrote. So it's kind of cool that he did that with mine. And yeah, but yes, that is his voice.
He is such
very cool.
He is a gift to humanity, a gift to music. I love John.
Yep. Has John been on the show before or no?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Really?
I can barely remember. No, I'm kidding. It's one of Human Condition changed my life.
Oh, it's
my
amazing.
All-time favorite album ever.
It's amazing. Hand of God is like one of my favorite songs ever.
So good. I'm gonna go listen to that. A Letter to My Younger Self. Please.
No, don't listen to that. Listen to my album. What are you talking about?
I soaked it in 2 times in the last 24 hours, but I will be adding many of these records to my everyday playlist because they're really great.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Phenomenal. I feel very understood by these songs. So,
thank you, man. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job. Daniel, do you have final thoughts? What's your favorite record besides Sleep While I Drive? Sorry.
Sleep When I Drive, and then the last one. Whatever, I forget the name of that one.
Everything I Need.
Everything I Need.
Everything I Need, yeah.
Mm.
Well, no, listen, I love getting older. I don't wish I was still in high school, but those were some of the best days of my life. So I think this album's incredible. It makes you think about all those days. When you were talking about smoking, me and my friends used to hide outside of my friend's house and try to smoke out of an apple. So,
Does that work?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you can make a bowl out of an apple, yeah.
Seriously?
So easily.
Yeah.
Done it as
I've always seen that in like television and stuff and movies, but I never really knew if that was like a legit thing or not.
you need a 2-hole. So you're gonna core from the top to the bottom, right? And then throw like a carp, I think they call it, like in the sides. That's like where you hold your finger.
Yeah, yeah.
You take foil and you poke some holes into it, and then you pack the weed into the foil on top of the apple, and then you need 3 holes. So you light, so it's 1 for the carp, 1 for the stocking, and then 1 for the weed. So then like it ends up being like a
Right.
I've
It's a
done
whole lot of work.
it.
This is great for Generation Alpha to hear.
Now, I mean, by the time they're ready to do that, they're gonna
Right.
be smoking weed from the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some,
yeah.
like concentrated cloud that just hangs in front of their. They're gonna be smoking it in packs, like
Right.
like a disposable. Like just imagine just like you're holding a cloud of smoke. You know, that's what you put in their mouth.
That's the life. That's the dream. That hopefully we'll get there one day.
Future of Bud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, this was a lot of fun, Mike. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you and your music very much, dude. Please,
Thanks, guys.
I love, and congratulations on your 2nd bulldog. So,
Dude. I would love to get him in here. I don't know. I think he might.
I really want to see him.
they're gorgeous animals. You follow Quinn on the Instagram to see them. And I really liked your quarantine game show that you were doing early on.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Thank you, dude. That was fun. We did like 5 weeks of that, and little live stream game show on Instagram. That was cool. We got to like donate some money to the Black Lives Matter movement and coronavirus and stuff. So it was a cool way to kind of like interact with fans and do some trivia. So it was good.
Are you doing music right now, or is this more of a self-discovery moment in your life?
It's kind of both. It's like we're still in the thick of like album promo and stuff, but I'm writing a little bit right now. I think once the album comes out though, I'm gonna like because I mean like I'm not going on tour, so I definitely have time to write another album. So probably gonna happen pretty soon. I'll get back into like studio mode. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm kind of just more of like in a reflective kind of being myself and working on myself a bit, which is always necessary. So that's
Totally.
good.
And that will influence the music when it's time.
100%. Yep.
Quinn 92, everybody. I really appreciate you, dude.
Dude, Zach, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Always a blast being on here. Have me on anytime you want. I can just come on and we can talk about apples and Generation Alpha and stuff. So
I mean, if you need different ways to learn how to smoke with household items, call me. I mean, you want to make a gravity bong?
Also, let's just go to concerts together. You know, we enjoy good times. We enjoy a couple cocktails. It's like, let's just like hit me up. We can all do it.
I will. I'm really bummed, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was so looking forward to seeing y'all. Like, I was gonna come to 3 or 4 different cities. That was my plan.
I know.
And
Such a bummer.
Dude, your show is so fucking good. You put on such a superb stage show, and you leave it all out there, and your energy is through the roof.
Thank you.
And watching you do your thing up there is such a treat. And
thank you.
The energy in the room, the unity that is formed with your audience, and it's really something special. I really enjoy myself.
Thanks, man.
Perform seriously.
Thank you, man. Yeah, dude. I'm hoping sooner than later I can do it again, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Vaccines, baby, vaccines.
I'm working on one right now, so I'm gonna let you guys know if it works.
You have a big work to get to.
I'll test it on my dogs first, and then I'll let you know.
Oh, give me a vaccine. Put it in my veins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Peace and love to you, sir.
Yep. Great talking to you guys. Dan, Ricky.
Good seeing you.
Talk to you guys soon.
Later.
Wait, everybody. Bye. Hey, beautiful human. Thanks for watching our full interview, but I get it. Like, a full interview is a lot. So we got a clips channel. We don't expect you to watch the full thing anymore, so we just gave you the highlights. Please subscribe and notifications and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I love you.